another mild correction. Just, my bad. I'll eat some crow. After all the shit I talked about the January 6th committee hearings, I have to take it back now because they did expose to the American public and the world that Donald Trump throws burgers. He threw burger. He threw burger.
He threw burger.
And,
he tried to grab a steering wheel.
Well, apparently not. I don't know.
No, let's go on the record. Who gives a shit?
Well,
if you're not under oath, it doesn't fucking matter what you say. And it barely does if you are.
I just want to, this is from the New York Times. He flung his lunch across the room, smashing the plate in a fit of anger as ketchup dripped down the wall. He appeared to endorse supporters who wanted to hang his own vice president. And in a scene laid out by a former aide that seemed more out of a movie than real life, he tried to wrestle away the steering wheel of his presidential vehicle and lunged at his own Secret Service agent. I mean, Matt, to your point,
does anyone else, I guess I'll be the one who says it. Doesn't it kind of make him look good? Not like it's not good to do those things, but we previously thought he was just doing this thing where he's like, oh, I'm gonna get my mouth breathing supporters really angry and then let them get arrested. And it's like, no, he was trying to get coronated as like the king of the room temperature water brains, and they wouldn't let him. They committed mutiny against an American president by not letting him go to like the handsome Capitol party. And I tried to go arrested, and they wouldn't let him. And it does kind of reflect well on him on a moral stance, some way.
No, yeah, he actually he had the courage of his convictions, at least as much as his fat little arms would carry him, but which is more than we thought before.
Yeah.
I will say this though, to echo the concerns of law professor Jonathan Turley, when he demanded that the Secret Service turn that limo around. How come they disobeyed a direct order from the commander in chief? I think it's something. I think maybe another committee hearing on that issue is worth bringing up.
You could say that it is like a counter coup there, but at the same time, the Secret Service does get like ultimate authority over the president's safety. Like the president, in order to protect him, they can kind of ignore what he wants.
Yeah, and it's also like, hey, take me to this unregulated riot site where like God knows who has guns and like who doesn't. Like, no, it's like, yeah, no one is following that order. And also like ignoring the fact that it's just like an unregulated riot scene where people are armed. If he had gone, he really he would be in prison now. That is like the one thing he could have done that would have actually put him in prison.
Yeah.
I'll notice that the Secret Service does appear to be doing some damage control on this. And there's one Secret Service agent that said he's willing to testify that Trump did not try to grab the steering wheel. But I think it's telling what they've said to the media. Just reading here from Yahoo News, former President Donald Trump would have had to squeeze through, quote, an extremely tight space to be able to grab the steering wheel of his SUV and lunge at a Secret Service agent, as former White House aide Cassidy Hutchinson testified Tuesday. It's not impossible, one former Secret Service agent said, but it's also not likely for the 6'3", nearly 250-pound Trump, who the agent noted is not the most agile human being. Trump's not a little guy, right? And the space to be able to actually lunge towards the wheel is not that big, the former agent said, speaking on Background to Insider. I don't mean to sound disparaging to the former president, but just his girth would prevent him from actually getting to the steering wheel.
With all due respect, the president is too much of a fat old weakling to have been able to do that. I got to give the Democrats credit for this. So Roe versus Wade gets overturned on Monday, and everyone's like, holy shit. And they turn to the Democrats, and of course they have nothing. They can't have nothing. And then they get, they sing the God Bless America, and they have some poems. They busted out 2 poems. That's how you know it was really serious. They had Pelosi read the IDF war criminal poem, and then they had Amanda Gorman bust out that sub-lyrical miracle type poem like they had during the Revolution. It was one if by land, two if by sea. Terrible poems. But they have, it's other than that, it's like, what do you do? What are you here for, Democrats? And the answer is they go behind the counter and they're like, we got a super special edition of the January 6th show with new revelations. And everyone's like, oh, look at you. You're just trying to distract us from Roe versus Wade. This is so fucking cynical. And then, he threw burger. And it's like, God damn it. They know what they're doing. They're showmen, if nothing else. And what are we doing? We're like, we love it. Oh, man, talking about Trump and his burgers and getting his sticky little hands on the wheel of a steering wheel, and then him freaking out about it and saying things on Truth Social about Kate Hutchinson like, Bad handwriting. That of a wacko.
That of a wacko.
And it's like, oh my God, they brought it all back. It's like, it's okay. Rover, what about Roe? I'm feeling like the waters of Nepenthe just like wash me clear of any kind of anxiety. And now here I am just having fun with the big wet boy. And that's all thanks to the Democrats. Kudos to them.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say that making him post the first good truths ever. I mean, this really is the party of Hollywood.
Yeah.
No one's there have been no good truths up to this point. All the truths have been like the Republican version of the Mueller investigation, where it's like, oh, did you know that Glenn Simpson actually knew Greg Zamorfi?
It's true.
Oh, yeah, the thing that they were saying wasn't true. Glenn Simpson and Greg Zamorfi actually were partners in Merry-Go-Round LLC. This blows the whole thing open, like just saying shit like that. But now he's posted truths that were exactly why we remember him on Twitter so much.
Yep.
Handwriting of
a wacko.
Really great.
Where are you going to get that sort of genius Yoda-like elocution from Trump? It's amazing.
That of a wacko. What's her name? Casey Hutchinson, though. Matt, you pointed this out. I think you're correct. She should be brought up on perjury charges for claiming that she tried to help a White House valet clean ketchup off the Lincoln bedroom walls.
No, no way.
Yeah, you joined the Trump White House because you just love helping out the working man. Like half of the fun isn't like putting lit cigarettes out on valets.
It's like ever since I heard about the burger throwing, the burger tantrum, because I mean, burgers have defined so much of his presidency. So much of our reality.
Sense. They define the country. They should define the presidency.
Yeah.
Burgers all the way down.
Ever since I heard about the burger tantrum, all I've been thinking of is remember the pickle race from Billy Madison, where they all just whip pickles at a fucking glass window and watch them slide down. Mm-hmm. I'm just thinking of like burgers just sliding down the wall of like the portrait of John F. Kennedy in the White House.
Yes.
Just then leaving a nice snail trail of ketchup just as it slides greasily onto the floor.
They're never, as I said before, they're never, even though Brandon has been there for a year and a half now, they absolutely still have the burger smell in all the curtains. There's no way that place doesn't just smell like ketchup.